I really didn't think we would get to alter intro number 5 before I actually did an introduction, but here we are. Welcome to our alter intros number 5. If you haven't seen any of the other videos in this series, there are 4 others, and they're all basically the same thing, introducing our alternate identity states, having their name, age, gender, likes, dislikes, and kind of what they do. Like a vague description of, like, you know, their purposes, their system roles, and everything else. And disclaimer, yes, we are professionally diagnosed. So here's my intro. My name is Devin. I am 22 and I just age with the body. Oh, technically, technically I'm like 3 years younger than the body. Jesus, I didn't like really exist until we were 3 years old, along with like the rest of the system. But I count myself as 22 because that's how old the body is, and I'm like the most attached to it. I'm transgender male. I use he, him pronouns exclusively. The body is transgender. I was born female and hated it. The funny thing is, like, the main female identity was actually just me with another alter kind of fused to me to kind of keep my transgenderedness on the DL. Like, one of my other alters, the core, Xavier, fessed up to doing this, so yeah. I've been the host, but not always, like, aware of what I really was. I kind of did the opposite of what, like, all the other hosts of the big systems on YouTube are doing, and I unintegrated. My sexual orientation, I usually just label that as asexual panromantic, basically, like, you know, falling in love with anybody, but not wanting to get X-rated at all. But now I think that's because of trauma, which is a real pain in the butt. So, I'm not certain about my sexuality, but it's probably just traumatized pansexual. My appearance is pretty much like the body, but a little bit different. I kind of have just like a few feature changes. I have different feet, I have wings and lots of horns, my eyes are different, fangs. I'm not totally certain. I haven't been able to like really actually get in contact with my physical form in the inner world, which is kind of a pain, but I'm working on that. Yeah, I haven't been able to get in system yet, which is a real annoying thing. And I know I'm not the only one out there like that, a host who can't get into the inner world yet, so like, shout out to other people like me who are freaking stuck in the void. My system role is the host, and the default kind of, yeah, I used to be really resentful about being the host and default, because I didn't want to be out all the time. Like, existence is pain to many of us, so that was kind of, you know, frustrating. The place that I live in the system, technically I'm in, like, the attic. I'm in the attic in the west. My body is kind of just, like, hovering there, kind of, you know, vaguely like a robot on standby, I guess, which is kind of creepy. But that's how it be. Like, the attic is actually this really cool kind of triangular cone of a room. It's on the top of one of the mountains. Not those mountains, but that's a picture of some mountains that we'll make a video about later. The western mountain, I have like the whole attic to myself, which is pretty lit. But, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be staying there permanently once I'm able to, like, get in system. But for the moment, that's where I'm chilling out, I guess. My likes, let's see, I like art, music, definitely, like dubstep with a lot of bass. That's the best kind of music. Goth fashion, definitely. Alternative style, facial piercings. These are pretty new here. You're not gonna see the piercings in all these segments coming up because some of these are older. Fashion and art are big interests of mine. Also, cats, I love them. Now we have 3. And I am about that life. I like knitting, horror movies, definitely horror movies. Knives. I collect knives. I've collected knives since we were 8 years old. I don't know if that's like a weird trauma thing or just a weird us thing, but we collect knives. I definitely like dragons too, and mythological creatures of any sorts, really, and mythology in general. I'm a big nerd for mythology. That's like quality. My favorite mythologies are probably like Norse and Egyptian. Those ones are like hardcore. And some of my dislikes are, I guess, like really a lot of sounds happening at once, getting overwhelmed by that. Brass instruments. I hate them. Also, Disney, mustaches, white trucks, dogs. I really don't like dogs. I'm sorry, dogs, but I just can't. Did I already say my back pain? Because I have a lot of back pain all the time. I don't know if it's chronic or just because my posture and vertebrae suck, but I get lots of that, and it is no fun. And let's see. 3 fun facts about yourself. I guess I'll go to that. Fact number 1, our eyebrows point naturally. Like, we were born this way. Mom was carrying us out of the hospital, and the nurse was like, look at those little pointed eyebrows. So, yeah, I don't style these. They're just like that. Fact number 2, I hate putting myself first in the system. Despite being the host, whenever it comes to, like, listing alters, I'm never at the top, and I'm never at, like, the first slide in the slideshow that we're making for us, and my intro is the 5th video in this series. So I have very poor self-esteem. And the third fun fact is my fronting habits are really weird. Usually I like wake up in the morning and I like do stuff and then switch out, and then somebody else basically takes it for the rest of the day, and for the most part I'm not the one that falls asleep at night. But in a lot of the cases, the things that trigger me out are discomfort, like physical discomfort, like back pain. Like if we've been standing for too long, I just like get pushed to the front slowly, and there I am, like really annoyed and not even wanting to be there. So I have a very interesting relationship with fronting. And I figure I'm just going to throw in one more fun fact. Me and Mickey were not the first couple to be in a relationship within our 2 systems. And I think that's pretty interesting. I think the first ones that were together were Vicky and Grace. Yeah, the lesbians. Weird note to end my intro on, but let's roll with it. Next clips. Let's go. Okay, so my name's Wyatt. I'm a million years old, male and he, him pronouns. I don't want to go off like a list on here, but I want to like fit the my sexual orientation is probably pretty gay. I mean, I'm pretty grossed out by the thought of kissing girls, so gay probably. I look like this. My wings are different from most people's because I'm more closely related to Xavier's side, which is like, we don't have a lot of information about that, and it's more so, the family color is white, so that's why I'm so white. My system role is trauma holder turned persecutor. I used to just be a regular ass trauma holder, but then I got screwed over by like 3 consecutive relationships, just my luck, and yeah, I haven't stopped being bitter about that. I live kind of all over the place in system. I've been moving around a lot and not really staying anywhere, but I've been in Dystopian for several months, and I've been just chilling out there. My likes... that's tough. I don't know. After I've gotten bitter, I've, like, lost all enjoyment of things, so I guess the cat's pretty great. Yeah, Thick Boy seems to favor me among the other persecutors, too. He's been, like, extra affectionate whenever I'm around, so, like, that's really nice. My dislikes are, I guess, cooking and food. Oh, God, just all of our exes. A lot of people. There are a lot of people that I don't like. I don't like it when people tap on things repetitively. Like, I'd probably tell you to shut the fuck up if you did that, and most people would just, like, try to grin and bear it, but, like, ugh. 3 fun facts about yourself. There's usually this one tree that I go to a lot in system. It's kind of by the big main mountain, but it looks like it's like this gigantic gray thing, and it looks dead, but I don't know if it's actually dead or not, but I like to hang out in it a lot. I always thought that was kind of fun. Fun fact too, I can actually fly with those wings. I know that they look like window blinds, but they're still functional. And third fun fact is Xavier kind of Trojan horsed me into the West, and he was like pretty much telling me to go in and pretend to be a Western alter and just be like, yeah, I'm totally part of this family in order to throw people off the track of where the trauma actually came from. So I think that's pretty fun, and I think that's enough information. Yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Morpheus Duran, like the band Duran Duran, except for I'm not really musically inclined that much. I am between the ages of 2.25 and 2.75 million. It's never been exactly hammered out when I came into existence with the system, but it was kind of before the age of 5, roughly. I am male and I use he, him pronouns. My sexual orientation is gay, and I look like this. I have silver-haired eyes, and I've never really liked that much. My system role is, I guess you could call me, first off, a medic, because I do a lot of the doctory kind of things. I live in the West, and I have kind of a doctor's office set up. Whenever any alters get hurt in the inner world, they usually come to me, and I usually patch everybody up. But I'm also what you'd call a programmer. I am in control of how the system is structured, and I work closely with Xavier. The two of us have kind of hidden the trauma away tactically using methods that are effective. And yeah, I've had a big say in how the system itself is structured. My likes are doing things like first aid to help people. I like to put on band-aids or give people shots if they need to. Like, we know a lot of other transgender people who are on testosterone, and sometimes they're not quite able to do their own shots. Sometimes their hands are shaky or they get afraid of the needles. So I'm the one who comes in and I'm like, we were first aid certified, I remember a lot from that, I can do your shot for you. And I like to help people in little ways like that. I also like technology and working with technology, unlike a lot of people. I'm one of the rare ones who actually does. I'm more tech savvy, and in my spare time I do a lot of like programming robots in the inner world. I've got this one that I've been working with for a long time called Prototype, and I guess I could put that as a fun fact. I'll come back to that. My dislikes are, let's see, sweet boy, shotgun sounds. That's a trigger of mine. I guess like too much going on at once, but in ways that I can't really control it. I'm good at problem solving, but if it's like a whole bunch of people talking at me at once, I'm like, oh, hold up, let me process that. Like, sometimes it's a little bit difficult for all of us to deal with a lot of sounds at once. Yeah, I was thinking about things that I like and dislike before this, but they've all just, like, escaped me. I like the Deftones. Deftones are pretty good. There's one album called White Pony that I really connect with, and it's kind of funny because, you know, our system families are now, you know, west, east, far east, north, and now there's black and white, and I'm closely aligned to white. So, of course, anything like white themed, I'm like, hey, especially if it's from our childhood like that album was. Yeah, I am, I guess one of the fun facts is that I'm more connected with our past than a lot of us are. Like, the music from the past is something that I like to listen to more rather than ignore it and brush it under the rug like most of the rest of the system would. And fun fact 2 is, yeah, I do a lot of work with robots, and there's one alter called Prototype. He's a robot alter, and I'm kind of like the one who makes sure that he runs smoothly and as effectively as I can. He's actually fronted before, but he was trying to do one of our shots one day just because I was like, let's see if he could do that. Let's see if I've done this good enough so that the robot could do our shots. But he froze up and just started saying malfunction repeatedly as soon as the needle touched our skin. And I thought that was kind of funny because, you know, robots aren't used to experiencing pain, so of course that didn't scare him. And also, Thick Boy has been on my lap this whole time. It's great. He's so good. And I guess fun fact number 3 is that I do have a very complicated relationship with a lot of the alters in the system. A lot of us have a lot of history. Me and Corvid, for example, I don't know if you know much about her, but she's like an absolute terror, and her and I do not get along at all, to say the least. Yeah, I have a lot of history with a lot of the system. But that just means I know a lot, and that's useful at times. So I guess that's all I've got to say about myself. That's all I can think of anyway. Yeah, I'll see you all later, I suppose. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, I haven't been on camera in like, I think a year. This is great. Okay, so my name is Desa. My age is like 11,000 something, but I'm mentally like probably 23 or 24. My gender and pronouns, I'm non-binary and I use they them pronouns. More like a agender kind of non-binary, like neither male nor female really, but I'm like intersex in our world, so like yeah. My sexual orientation, I don't really know, but I have a boyfriend. I'm with Leone over in our fiance system, and that's really awesome. We were one of the first couples that actually got together, so that's really great. I look like this, and yeah, this is another one that I drew myself like years ago. I figured I'd just like put that there because why not? My system role started out as like kind of like a trauma holder and kind of like shielding things, like shielding the whole system from a bunch of really terrible things that we were not supposed to remember until we were like mentally mature enough to handle all of it. So now I'm kind of like a gatekeeper at this point. Like at first I was like holding all the terrible things, but now I'm kind of like, okay, I can be of more use to this system and kind of like shed the skin that I was sort of wearing. It was like anxiety, but, you know, weaponized. My current system role kind of ties in with the place that I live in system, quote unquote. I'm just going off of this list here. It's like getting really like crinkled because everyone kind of leaves this page open on our desk. It's great. So at first I lived in the West and I'm still like staying there, but technically I'm supposed to live on the ghost train. Like that is like the ultimate system role that I was like programmed to do, and yeah, I need to go get on the train. Like one of those things you can kind of just feel. I'm supposed to live on the ghost train, and I'm supposed to be the conductor for that. I'm supposed to drive it around the forest and just be really chill about it. I'm not one of those like rush drivers. Everyone usually goes insanely fast through the forests, but you're not supposed to do that. Like you're not supposed to go really fast through the forests. The moose like try to block you for a reason. Don't go fast. But that's beside the point. So my likes, let's see. I like kind of like heavy metal music. Ironically, a lot of people think I'm like, oh, this like delicate pure thing, but I really like heavy metal stuff and like white goth fashion, and I don't want to get this video demonetized, so I'm just gonna say that I hang out with Mary Jane a lot. And I guess that'd fit in with my dislikes. I dislike being like aggressively questioned about my methods. Like I do things for a reason and like they work, and that's what matters kind of in the end there. And usually the things that I do cause extremely minimal harm. Like nobody is hurt in the process of anything that I do, but people are still like, "Hey, stop it." And I'm like, "Guys, come on." It's really frustrating, and yeah, I guess I dislike being really overwhelmed too. Most of us are usually like that, and can't really think of a lot that I like actively put things that I like actively dislike. I guess like really chill music, like really calm, mellow music. I like something with more of a kick to it. Yeah. Three fun facts about yourself. I'm an angel, and I'm like the opposite of what a lot of the angels are in this system. Like, a lot of them are more aggressive than I am, but I'm a lot more, like, passive, but, like, I'm still not gonna, like, take a bunch of BS, like, anymore, at least. Oh, yeah, second fun fact, I have a twin in the system, and Confetka is my twin. And they're another non binary, like, silver haired, blue eyed thing, but they have a Russian accent, which is pretty interesting, and I clearly do not. And last fun fact is I hid a lot of stuff from Devin, like, throughout my time being an alter. Like, that was one of the big things. I was in on a lot of, like, secretive things and, like, details in the inner world that we, like, put there to, like, drop hints and stuff, but I could never be, like, really explicit about that. I kind of had to be, like, super metaphorical, but I was one of the ones that was hiding the big traumas. So, like, yeah, that's pretty fun, I suppose. But that's like all that's on the new alter intros paper. So I think that's it. So this is 7 minutes long. It wasn't supposed to be this long. Okay. See you guys. Hi everyone. My name is Arcadia. I'm about 18,000 years old. I am non-binary and I use they/them pronouns. My sexual orientation is mainly people who are more masculine, but I'm flexible on that. I look like this. I am an angel, and I'm also one of the first ones to have made a mood board for myself, which is this right here. My system role is kind of as a gatekeeper and also as somewhat of a hostile takeover. My current job is to take over the system for the majority of December and get us through these holidays. And so far, I think I'm doing a pretty good job at it. I also serve as a gatekeeper, guarding one of the passages to the center of the earth. I'm also one of the leaders of the angels. And my gatekeeping purposes kind of extend to alters as well. I'm kind of able to push people back in with more ease than others, especially Devin, since I'm basically taking his place for a couple of weeks as a temporary fix. So I suppose you could also say that my system role is temporary host. I live in... Oof, for the place I live in system, I should probably grab the globe. So you see, as a reference, this is the west here, and I live over here. Basically on the opposite side of the planet from everybody else, in a castle, which is that little dot there. Things that I like? Let's see, some of my likes are definitely Brandon Rogers. I identify so much with his CEO character. I honestly sometimes speak to the inside of the system in that voice so that people will listen to me more. I definitely like having control of the situation, all situations, especially those inside the system. I like white chocolate mochas, which is definitely a white thing in the system. Not everybody likes them, but they're one of the things that I enjoy. And some of my positive trigger songs are Rock That Body by Black Eyed Peas, Bloody Mary by Lady Gaga, and Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, admittedly. Some of my dislikes are not having control over the situations, be that external, internal, most things. Messes, I don't like that at all. And I guess people that don't listen to me. 3 fun facts about yourself. It's very uncommon for an agender angel to be in a ruling position that I am, so the fact that I hold such authority in the angel portion of the system is kind of surprising. Most people might not think a lot on that, but angels have been allowed to have almost zero power in the visible system, up until me. Fun fact number 2, I carry a very different energy than most of the other angels in the system. I kind of take more after our mother before she became accepting, and combine that with a Brandon Rogers CEO, and you've got me. And I suppose fun fact number 3, before this season I hadn't fronted for about 2 years. The last time I was out was when we were in the first apartment that we started this channel in, and I was there to help plan a party and make all the decorations look perfect, and so I did. and then I kind of dropped off the face of the earth to kind of rest and also gather more energy in case of a situation like this, in which I needed to take control for a long amount of time. But don't worry, this is not a permanent thing, and I won't be taking over the body permanently. This is temporary. I'm kind of a band-aid, I suppose. But anyway, it was great to meet all of you. If there's any questions you've got or anything else you'd like to know about us, please leave that down below in the comments. And on your way, feel free to check out all the links in the description. And if you haven't already, you should hit that subscribe button and become a goblin. Join the Gob Squad, our little family here on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we will see you all in the next video.